Well, you asked for it. Anyways, Minecraft mobs. They have been around for quite some time now, since the release of Early Derp Walking Steve. Some got removed and some got added, but one question we have in mind, what are Minecraft mobs' political opinions though? With my little quote-unquote research, I have now a list of modern Minecraft mobs' political opinions. I split this video into 8 parts, which is NPCs, passive mobs, undead mobs, monsters, guardians, golems, bosses, and nether beings mobs, to make it more organized. I will be using a political compass to rightfully place them where they belong on the political spectrum, since a tier list is very overrated and not appropriate to be used in this video. Let's begin. Let's tackle the NPCs first. First off, we got the villagers. Based on what I observed with these mobs, they have different varieties of villages, an economy, and a quote-unquote military. The one that interests me is their purpose, which is to trade to players, which they still use the oldest commerce technology ever to be used. But nope, I was wrong. They have a currency, emeralds. They also own their private properties for business purposes. They are heartless creatures, don't care for the world, and not that very progressive. There's only one thing for these creatures called pure capitalism. So I put them here since they're not that democratic, they don't have a centralized government, and if they do, they will just oppose it or not listen to it. So right libertarianism it is. Now time for the opposite of villagers is pillagers. Real creative mojang. Anyways, I compiled all the illagers since they have the same faction, so I just discovered about them. They like to show their banners outside their outposts and on raids, like being a nationalist, have a very cool formational waves during raids, a government HQ, and a very committed on their cultural values. Now this behavior, I think we recognize this. I put the illagers in the right authoritarian. They have the fascism kick in them, has authoritarian ideology, and very conservative. Since look at them, they have drip. Next up are wandering villagers. Just like villagers, capitalism. But got me thinking, why do they travel just to trade and not just go to a single village? Do they resemble a government somewhere? A wandering villager government? They're also the only villagers that travel, and their clothes doesn't resemble any villages in the game. It's unknown to figure out their government's ideology, so I'll put the wandering villager capitalism, but with a little progressive, since they're the villagers that can lead llamas, drink invisibility potions during night, and can find you everywhere in the world. Now we move on to passive mobs territory, or are they really passive? There's a lot of passive mobs, and I have a question. How do I see their ideology and opinions? They're basically just animals, and my Discord peeps didn't really help that much, so I'll speedrun passive mobs. Let's start with cows. They give free milk with or without your permission. Communism. Chickens. They lay eggs whether they like it or not, but still you need to wait. Progressive liberal. Sheep. Like cows, they give free wool or with or without your permission. Also, you can change their colors when the player likes it, as long as you give them grass or wheat. Capitalist. Pigs. The only passive mob that will be beneficial if you kill it because of food. Also super independent. Anarchy. Wolves. They do have an authoritarian belief, as if you tame one of them, they'll turn like a puppet or loyal to you by giving up their freedom to fight for you and do as what you do. So, right authoritarian. Cats or ocelots. Same as wolves, they have a little freedom by not following what to attack and just follows you around as pets, more than wolves. Llamas. Only provoke when attacked. They have the neutrality mindset, which they're libertarian socialism since they don't have governments and such. Polar bears. They will attack you if you're near their territory. Okay, this is just libertarian socialism. Horses. They're sometimes fast, difficult to train, and even if you tame one, they will just leave you if you don't leash or fence them. So syndicalism, since they're pretty demanding. Bees. Monarchy. Just look at them at real life. They have a queen. I bet there's a queen in that beehive somewhere. Foxes. They steal items, will probably not pay taxes, and also scared up by players until they're offered food. So, anarcho-socialism. Pandas, like llamas, only attacks when provoked, so much closer to llamas. Parrots. Chickens that can't fly, also can be tame like wolves, and ocelot can't really fight for you, so near the cat. Bats. This mob is the only mob that doesn't have a purpose. doesn't have any updates since its first appearance in the game and only appears on the dark. Traditionalism, for not changing a single thing. Dolphins, based on what I observed in these majestic creatures, they like to play on items laying around the ocean. Doesn't really attack you when it's harm, but gives you pretty cool stats to make you speed up under the sea. So down towards left libertarian. They also willing to share your stuff, comrade dolphin. Turtles. Well, turtles all the way down. A philosophy which means infinite regress, since this mob symbolized to save the ocean in real life, which made this mob added in Minecraft in the first place. Mojang is the big turtle and the world is just the little turtle in the top. Anyways, activists, since it needs effort or acts to promote this kind of thing. And lastly, fishes. All the fish in Minecraft. Basically, anarchy, property claims, no government, no forces or military, just fish vibing in the sea. Also squids. Hello, this is Edit Me and I forgot two mobs, which is frogs and sniffer. Not much interesting about frogs, so I put frogs same as the chicken. They're only used in the magma farms. It just happens when I realize I forgot to add the sniffer into the passive category. I don't know much about this mob because it's literally brand new, but I only know and research it up is that you need to find it in a suspicious sand, so you need player interaction to access them. So I'll put them left libertarian since mutualism. So you're asking what will you get if it's mutualism, since both parties need to benefit to call it like that. An achievement, duh. Well, that was a lot of misinformation. Anyways, let's move on towards the Guardians. I mean, what are they? Well, according to the Total Legit Gaming Wiki, the game theory, these creatures are robots, with their purpose is to defend this temple. So, based on what I observed from these creatures, they are very traditionalist by looking at the monuments, colors, and themselves, and also very protective on their motherland. So, I put the Guardian faction, aka Goofy Fish Robots, into authoritarian right, very close to the middle, I think. We now move on towards undead mobs. They're just basically zombies and skeletons with their retextured counterparts such as the Stray, Drowned, and Huss. First one is the zombies. Based on what I observed, they don't think, they just act a very basic behavior. They do run on heads to finish a common object. So I'll put the zombies here in the right, authoritarianism, near in the middle for being a progressive mob. Now the Huss, same as the zombies, but they have hats to protect themselves next to the zombies, but just a little liberalism. Drowned, much similar between the zombie and Huss, but underwater, so liberalism, but with a little activism, making players stay away from the deep oceans. Next up is the aimbot creatures, much like their undead counterparts. The difference they have is access to bows, which they use to attack players. I also observed that I don't seem to see any government entity that teach them this aimbot powers, and also they don't gather with others, which this is a slight flaw. When one of them accidentally hit one another, they simply will turn back and fight towards their own kind. So I'll put them into left libertarian, complete energy intense, and stray. They act like energy behavior such as the skeleton, and they have a slowness upgrade and adopted into snow biomes. Syndicalism, since they want to change by turning their arrows into slowness. We now move on towards the monster category. Unlike passive and undead mobs, these guys are pretty interesting since they are sentient, bloody moving things that might be originated to Australia. Anyways, spiders, creepy, annoying, and not intelligent enough to know their ideological belief. But I observed that only attacks you during night, which I question, is the day and night cycle resemble some kind of a government entity or god which they need to follow? I'll put them in authoritarianism with conservative thoughts since they're strict on their duties. Cave spiders. Unlike regular spiders, these creatures have poison and only spawns on abandoned mine shafts, which I'll simply put them near the middle because they're liberals. Also, remember they have the tax evasion flag thingy. Endermen. These are very interesting mobs as they are the only mobs that has access on 3 different worlds. They pick certain blocks and doesn't resemble any authoritarian or government entity to follow since they hate the Ender Dragon as much as you do. Anyways, according to the Minecraft community, these creatures are like past builders or something, but as years go over time, that beliefs simply go out, so I'll put them in energy since they seem to hate being stared in the eye and hates the Ender Dragon as a symbol of their government. Witches, they don't agree on a form of government as witches live on a swamp biomes to just probably make illegal substance. I didn't add them in the pillager faction because they are probably just mercenaries on raids since I don't see them on the mansions and outposts, so I'll put them here. They're kind of progressive monsters. As we think of monsters in Minecraft, we think of them as energy, authoritarian, and probably liberals, but I kind of slime as the opposite of that. I observe of their behavior is that they believe on equality. Once one slime has fallen, they multiply and one big one fall until they don't have the ability to hurt you at all. I think they're a egalitarianism, right next towards pluralism, libertarian, right? I don't imagine that saying that word ever again. Now, shulkers, I observe about them is that they protect a certain form of home or nation, which is the end city. They also have banners all around their protecting nation or city, which is a sign of civilization. Endermen don't seem to care about the city when quote-unquote being looted. It's just the shulkers. They're very known to have a militia behavior just to protect their soil. I'll put them in right authoritarian. For the phantoms, they're just annoying. They just do hit and run during the night and force you with their authoritarian ideology on sleeping on the bed. So fascist. And lastly, in the monster category is my favorite, creepers. Aw man, just say these mobs fight to their last breath. They don't care on what situation you are, how much pitiful you are, they will still bomb you. We shall bomb in the caves, we shall bomb in the seas, we shall bomb in the lands, we shall bomb growing confident and straight to the farms, even the portals. We shall bomb the player wherever he speed. We shall never surrender, except the scouts, verbal motherfucker. With their suiciding and fighting till the last breath of encountering a player, their patriotism is put into question. What are they fighting for? Well, of course, keeping players up to the world. But what are they made of? Well, according to the weekend, the theorist himself, creepers are plants. They don't seem to attack any other mobs, just you. So yeah, they're pretty much environmentalism to stop you until their last breath. So I'll put them into right authoritarianism, since they certainly will fight for a cause and will force Minecraft into a free player zone. So if you ever got killed by a creeper in your hardcore world, Creeper Empire have cleaned the world once again. Now for golems. These mobs are very common to protect players, also villagers. Let's start with the snow golem. They're only created if ever summoned by a player, but once you created them, they don't seem to follow you or protect you, only follows you when you use brute force. I'll put them here. They seem very progressive and really independent. Iron golems. Based on my observation on them, they're very dependent towards villagers and will never leave their side because unlike other mobs, they will just roam around. I kinda say they have mutualism behavior, so I'll put them here. Now I only registered 3 Minecraft mob bosses such as the Ender Dragon, Wither, and the Warden. I included the Warden because why not? Anyways, the Ender Dragon. The final boss are steps to beat the game. I don't seem to see the Ender Dragon carries any beneficial towards Enderman as it doesn't resemble any ruling behavior. So I'll give the Enderman to be respectful place on energy. She's just minding her own business. Now for the Wither. Unlike the Ender Dragon, you need to summon it with 3 Wither Skulls and 4 Soul Sand. Like golems, but they're very aggressive towards everything. Complete right authoritarian. They just wanted the world by themselves. Now Wardens, it hates everything ever breeds in your Minecraft world. Politically, it's same towards Wither but more radical since they actually spawn in the world without your consent. But there's theories they come from another world, but we ain't going to tackle them for now. So right authoritarianism again. Now for the pigmen. They seem very gentle and only attacks when you provoke them. I'll put them the same as the llamas. Now the interesting part about the piglet faction is very more established unlike their wasteland counterparts. They have a bastion in the nether which resembles a base for this faction or civilization to prosper. They also have a currency which is gold, a militia which they're their own military, and probably a bank in the center since they get mad if I quote-unquote loot one of their chests. Pretty much I'll say they're a tribalism type, but you can't identify it in the political compass since it's an early form of ideology. ideology, so they're going to be in the right authoritarian, much like pillagers, but pigmen are more reasonable. Gas, very hostile beings, but I just realized that it only attacked players and not any other mobs, so pretty much right authoritarianism. Next to the creeper, they want no player alive. Fortress faction. I put Wither Skeleton and Blazes into one faction as their purpose is to guard the fortress in the nether. Just like Shulkers, these mobs' purpose is kind of protect it, I guess, but it doesn't seem that they resemble any banners to show their nation's colors. They're just there protecting a fortress, much like pillagers on their outposts. I'll put them near the Shulkers. They're not that progressive and not that traditionalist. They seem just like paid mercenaries. Strident. They seem chill, nothing much about them. They're not that socialist or radical. Liberalism. The big things, the Hoglids and Zoglids. These are the only mobs that gets hunted by the pigment faction. They're the equivalent of a woolly mammoth in the nether. I'll put them here, right authoritarianism, next to the gas and creeper, which they actually just hate players. And last mob in my list is the magma cubes. Unlike their libertarian right slime counterpart, they still have a chance to kill you even though they're very small. I'll put them in the middle libertarian left because of pure libertarian ideals. How big nor small they are, they will still fight you to the death. Hello, this is TC Edit again. As you can see, I miss a lot of mobs like rabbits, silverfish, and the alley. So here's a brief stuff to cover them all, because I kinda forgot them, sorry. So anyways, here it is. Mushrooms, same with the cows. Axolotls, same with the turtles. Zombie horses, donkeys, and camels, same with the horses. Silverfish, completely anarchy. Endermite, rabbits, same as the pigs. Alley, mutualism. And goats, I'll put them here liberalism because they have different mood swings. Now time to label my project. There, seems legit. Okay, continue to the video. Well, that includes it all up. So yeah, might and might not be an accurate representation of mobs' political opinions, but hey, this is my version and my observation. But let me know in the comments of what I miss or ungodly crap I put these mobs into. Time for a sponsor. It's myself, sadly. I would like to advertise my goofy Discord server. Nothing happening yet, but you can join and we might do a Minecraft event. I don't know. I'm hosting a SMP right now. And we're done, finally. Huh? Is my time to be free now? I promise I won't commit any more war crimes against villagers. Commute to service, what? What should I do, like mine 1 million emeralds? I could have just make a slave. My help on what? A coup? Oh, the previous village I spread communism, huh? Staging a coup in Minecraft, huh? Alright, I'll help.